What is Doctor Doom's plan most likely going to come down to in Avengers 5, now aptly titled Avengers Doomsday? Doctor Doom's long-awaited arrival in the MCU has finally been confirmed, leaving Marvel fans across the world with dozens of burning questions regarding the future of the multiverse. So join us on the channel as we begin to sift through all of these announcements over the next few days, starting with the next entry in the Avengers franchise. Right now, we know that Avengers 5 has a few goals that it has to achieve in order to not only fit into the multiverse, but to course correct some of the oversights and shortcomings of phases 4 and 5. The first thing it has to do is serve as a proper introduction for Doom, who is a brilliant, ruthless, and unparalleled threat to the Marvel Universe. He is a scientist, a sorcerer, and a monarch all rolled into one, and he will do anything he can to obtain more power. With that said, specifically though, what does Doctor Doom want? What is his plan going into Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars? For Avengers 5, the core tenet of this motivation is likely going to be a search for more power. One of Doom's defining character traits is his obsession with getting ahead of others, and this gives us key insight into his mind. For this, let's divide the video into two sections, where option 1 is that Doomsday is going to be a contained story, staying strictly contained to Earth 616 without any sort of multiversal travel or exploration, and option 2 will get more into the multiversal adventures, but we'll get back to that in a minute. If Avengers Doomsday is going to stay entirely on Earth 616, then Doctor Doom may set his sights on either Wakanda, Atlantis, or Tiamat the Celestial. The reasons for this are simple. Wakanda and Atlantis are the only known sources of earthbound vibranium on the planet. Doom's rivalry with the Black Panther is a long-documented quarrel that has led the two to war on several occasions. We know that Wakanda is currently under reconstruction after their battle with Namor and the forces of Atlantis, so they might be particularly weak and ripe for the picking for invasion. If Doom wanted to stage an assault on Wakanda, now would be the time to do it. The title of monarch has shifted from Queen Ramonda to M'Baku, and the world already has public knowledge of the vibranium supply. If this is the case, then Shuri may call upon the aid of the rest of the Avengers in order to match Doom's forces in her weakened state. We know that Sam Wilson is indebted to the Wakandans from the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that Shuri fought alongside the forces of Earth during Endgame. While this is one idea, there's also a case to be made that Doom has his sights not set on Wakanda, but on the Indian Ocean, where the body of Tiamat the Celestial was frozen in place by Cersei. We know that Tiamat will be returning, and that several nations will be trying to mine the contents of his body, which was confirmed at Comic-Con as the MCU's adaptation of Adamantium. This is said to be the primary mission of the Thunderbolts, and it will likely be mentioned in Captain America: Brave New World as well. The Thunderbolts is set to showcase the struggle of multiple nations fighting over the rights to mine Tiamat. So who's to say that Latveria isn't going to be inclined to enter this mix? Since production of Brave New World and the Thunderbolts is well underway, it's possible that we won't see or hear from Doom here, but it would set the stage for a much larger project. We also know that Sam Wilson and President Ross are disagreeing on the role of Captain America, and whether or not he should be an official position within the United States government, which might imply that Sam is looking at remaining independent. If this is true, then it might track with the rumors that Sam Wilson will be scouting for future members of the eventual reconstruction of the Avengers roster. If his goal is to reunite the Avengers, then he may be inspired by a threat which rose up against him, and this might take the form of Doom, who has swooped in to claim Tiamat for himself. This would be the perfect time to reassemble the Avengers. This would allow Latveria to control a healthy portion of the world's very limited adamantium supply, and would feed directly into Doom's simple motivation of power and greed. These, however, are the main options regarding what might happen if Doomsday is set to only take place on Earth 616. But what about the idea that it may turn into a multiversal debacle and storyline? What if multiversal travel and alternate timelines are involved? If this is the case, we believe we may have identified Doom's target. Marvel went to great lengths to establish Kang the Conqueror as the next major threat to the Marvel Universe, but in recent years, this has become particularly problematic. Not only was Jonathan Majors faced with legal problems, leading him to parting ways with Marvel, but Kang himself wasn't well received either by fans. His one proper outing as a true antagonist was in Quantumania, where some might say that he was defeated very easily. And even though we did the legwork to understand why this was the weakest of the Kang variants, it still soured Kang's reputation as a major threat. There have been problems that seem to be leading Marvel away from Kang, and what better way to remove Kang as a threat than by having him be defeated by an even larger villain? If Kang comes to Earth 616 in search of a new domain to conquer, then the quickest way to build Doom up might be to violently tear Kang down. This would mean that Doom's motivations could revolve around multiversal travel, and specifically in search of magic, as well as science to explore. His motivations might line up fairly close with Kang, who explores neighboring timelines to collect more and more gadgets for his arsenal, as Kang conquers as many realities as possible. We know that Doom is no stranger to stealing the power of others, and one of his most iconic depictions actually comes from the Secret Wars storyline. And we are of course talking about God Emperor Doom. Here, Doom was able to steal the power of the Beyonders, and he used this nigh unlimited cosmic power to subjugate the survivors of the multiverse on his own domain known as Battleworld. If the MCU takes notes from God Emperor Doom, then there are a few multiversal threats that Doom might target. If Doom wants complete autonomy over entire realities, then he may try and steal the power of the Watcher, who has ultimate authority over where and when he travels. With the power of the Watcher, Doom would never need any technology or magic in order to travel throughout the intertangled web of infinite realities. But we think Doom might set his sights even higher than this power. There is one being who has even more power than the Watcher does, one who is tasked with protecting the entirety of the multiverse. All timelines as we know them have officially fallen into the hands of now Loki, the god of stories, and we believe that this is where Doom is headed. We've talked in depth about this particular depiction of Loki and what makes him arguably the most powerful being in all of the known multiverse, but we'll cover the basics of his power really quickly here. The god of stories has the power to rewrite entire realities to his own desires, creating stories that he wants to see unfold and affecting the lives of every known being in existence at the same time. Loki is tasked with protecting timelines, holding them together, restoring them as they fade, and create new realities from the essence of time itself. With that power, Doom would be truly omnipotent. He could not be challenged, bartered with, or bargained with. He could not be stopped, only obeyed. If he finds his way to Loki, then this might be the source of a phenomenal cosmic power, leading him to becoming the God Emperor Doom in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This may mean that Loki is sitting on the throne which could one day be the center of the Castle of Doom, which was constructed in the heart of Battleworld. As far as Doom's character is concerned, this power is not out of reach for him. If Doom learns of the existence of the God of Stories, he will stop at nothing to steal that power for himself, as Doom will not stop until he is the single most powerful entity in the entire multiverse. No level of power will ever be enough for Doom, and if the MCU wants a proper adaptation, then this character trait has to be on full display. It's possible that both of these scenarios may actually come true, and that Avengers Doomsday may circle around Earth 616, and then Doom may take his second route throughout the events of Secret Wars and the multiverse. If this is the case, then we may see Doom's Earth-level threat, and then also see him as a multiversal contender, truly the way to do Doom justice. But anyway friends, what do you think of this year's Comic-Con panel? And are you excited to see Robert Downey Jr. take on Dr. Doom? As always, my friends, smash that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and have a phenomenal day.